G'day guys, I'm Matt Brand, and this, is the 2021 Volkswagen T-Roc. The Volkswagen T-Roc is the all-new, kind of, anyway, crossover in Australia. I say it's all new. It is all new, but it's been around since 2017 globally. And it joins 13 other SUVs across the entire Volkswagen global range. But that's insane. So what makes this jacked up Golf GTI effectively so cool? Well, in today's review, we're gonna find out. Now, if you are new around here, please do go down there and hit the subscribe button. I release an awesome new car review every single week. And while you're down there, like the video. It really, really helps small content creators just like me. I've also left timestamps down in the description below, so feel free to go down there if you want to skip ahead to any part of the video, or if you're on YouTube app, just click on one of the chapters. Cool, let's just get straight into it. Starting with the front, and the T-Roc is actually quite a small car, but you wouldn't know it just looking at it. There is some great trickery going on here that makes it look way bigger than it actually is. I think the front has a lot to do with that. The grille is big but elegant. I really like the fact that there is a chrome bar that kind of wraps around everything of the grille, and then also around the LED headlights. My absolute favorite part though is the LED daytime running lights, which kind of wrap around in this front little small square shape. I'm horrible at describing things, but they look awesome, and they act as the turning signals too. Oh, by the way, there are even more lights very down the bottom because there are fog lights. And so in effect, you have like a 3 split headlight design. It's actually pretty quirky. Whoa! Moving on to the side, and honestly, the side is my favorite part. The thing that grabs my attention immediately is the chrome bar that runs from front to back, like all the way. I don't know why I love that look so much. It really adds like a premium touch to the T-Roc. Of course, there are lots of sharp edges and creases just cut, stamped, protruding from the side. I actually quite like that, to be honest. And because this has the sound and vision package, you do get 19-inch Suzuka wheels, which sound very similar to Suzuki, I might say, but they look pretty cool. Better yet, within them are red painted brake calipers, because as I said, this is kind of like a Golf GTI on stilts. Another reason why I like this SUV, and a lot of people will disagree with this, but I really like the coupe design. It's like a sloping roof back, and it looks very elegant, sporty, modern, cool. All the big words out there, I like it. But you might disagree. Please feel free to argue with me in the comment section below. And then we have the rear, and the rear again is really nice. It's funny that in a world of just light bar, everything you possibly can, this has like the opposite of that. In fact, the taillights are relatively small for the large looking anyway back, but I really, really like that. My favorite part of the rear though is how the T-Roc badge, it just looks so cool, especially under the VW logo. It's almost got this minimalist design aesthetic to it, and I dig that. What I don't like though are the hideously fake exhausts. This car could have had real exhausts, and it does, hidden underneath the car, and it could have had them at the back, but no, you don't get that anymore. I wouldn't care so much if it wasn't that they were so fake. But anyway, overall, I really like the way that the T-Roc looks. I'm not going to pretend that this is the pinnacle of crossover design, but I do think it's smart and it's classy. I like it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. I reviewed the Nissan Juke about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. I don't know when this video is coming out, but a little while ago, and that was polar opposite to the T-Roc. That car is as outlandish as cars come. So what do you think looks better? Do you prefer the looks of this Volkswagen T-Roc, or do you prefer the looks of the Nissan Juke? Go down into the comment section below. I've left a poll down there, and cast your votes now. Oh my God! This thing is insane. There won't be much car left for the next reviewer if I keep doing that. Now I want to move on to the interior, and I want to start with the overall look, layout, and feel. The thing I love about Volkswagen interiors is that they are just so functional and everything is like perfectly laid out. And of course, the T-Roc is no different. Yes, the materials in here can be pretty disappointing kind of at times, but I actually don't mind all the hard, scratchy plastics because at least they're textured well, and the reality is you guys probably don't really care about that. I do like the design, actually quite a lot. Again, it's elegant. Even though it's got the power to back it, this isn't marketed as like a sports SUV. And so it's not too outlandish within here, but you still get some nice like red highlights on the steering wheel and I guess almost that's about it. But there are a few colors. The dash is gray, the seats are white, gray and black. You've got a reddish steering wheel and gear selector. I like it. And I should mention that there are soft touch materials in the places that matter most. For example, the armrest, for example, the center armrest and the steering wheel, and of course the seats, like the places you touch the most. In terms of ergonomics and practicality, well, I am super duper comfortable. Again, another awesome thing that Volkswagen do is get you into the perfect seating position, and that's what I'm in now. The steering wheel is tilting and telescoping. The seats are adjusting though manually, but you can get them into the easy, perfect position for you. There are nice touches for ergonomics dotted around the interior as well. For example, the center armrest is adjusting and by quite a lot. In terms of I/O, up front you have 2 USB ports and you have a 12-volt socket, which is decent for a car in this class. Storage is great too. You have 2 cup holders in the center. You have another 2 in the door bins. The door bins are pretty big and useful. The center armrest is pretty big and useful. And the glove box is a pretty decent size too.
There's also a drawer under the seat, which I love, by the way.
So ergonomics and practicality, as you would expect from a Volkswagen, is fantastic. So how about the seats? Well, the seats are super duper comfy. Now, on top of the sound and vision pack, this T-Roc is also fitted with the luxury pack. And with that come these Vienna leather seats, which are also heated as part of that package. And yeah, they're pretty great. Now, even though yes, they are totally manual, at least they come with lumbar support, which a lot of other cars seemingly seem to forget. I also like their tri-tone design. Usually with these luxury packs, it's black and black seats only, but with these ones, at least you've got lots of different colors going on. It really does brighten up the interior. By the way, as part of that luxury pack, you also get this sunroof here and you get an electronic tailgate. So yeah, the seats are great. But how about the second thing you touch most, the steering wheel? Well, just like I've come to expect from Volkswagen, this steering wheel is so good. Being a kind of GTI, you get a kind of GTI steering wheel. It's super comfortable in the hands. It's made out of nice leather, of course. You get red stitching on it, which is, it's a sporty touch, and the flat D-shaped steering wheel again is a sporty touch. But by far the best thing about this steering wheel is just how functional it is. On the left-hand side, you have your cruise controls and you have your safety system controls and volume up and down. On the right-hand side, you have your digital instrument cluster controls, you have your skip forward and back controls, and you've got your voice command controls, which doesn't actually do voice command unless you hold it down and then you can get your phone's voice command. But the car, it's like it's locked, which is odd, but whatever. You also get paddles, which are pretty cheap feeling, but hey, at least you get them. And I want to quickly talk about safety. Yes, this car is fully loaded with all the latest safety tech. I'm talking about adaptive cruise control. I'm talking about lane keep assist, just everything. Excuse me here while I give it a bit of power. This thing is quick. It is rapid. Up in front of me is a 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster, and it's just awesome. It, of course, is the virtual cockpit that you'd find across Volkswagens, Audis, and Skodas. Skoda. One of those pronunciations, I'm sure I got that right. It is a super bright display, and you can display information in 5 different ways. You can have your maps big and bright in front of you, or you can have a minimalist display. You can have your tach and speedometer up there. Whatever way you want it, you can almost have it, which I love. More customizability, the better. The virtual cockpit is truly great. What isn't as great is this 8-inch infotainment screen. Why do you say that, Matt, huh? Why do you say that? Well, I'll tell you why. Sorry for the aggression. I haven't had my morning coffee yet. Lady. First of all, it is a good system for the most part. It's responsive, quick to the touch, it's very bright, color accurate, so it's easy to see no matter the lighting conditions. There are heaps of different menus with it. Of course, you get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and the navigation is, again, responsive, and it's pretty good. But it does not have digital radio. That is criminal in a car that is over $50,000 drive away. We'll get to the price at the end, but it's absurd. Now, yes, you can stream that if you wanted to via Android Auto, but come on, it should be here. At least you've got buttons here to control everything, even though they're not physical buttons, but whatever. And maybe the Beats audio system that comes with the sound and vision packages is a redeeming factor because it does sound awesome. Moving on to the air conditioning controls, and well, they're great. They just work. I like them. Moving on to the rear seats, and they are the same Vienna leather as up front. So yeah, it's super comfortable back there. I'm 5'11". I have enough leg room and I have plenty of headroom. Just as importantly though, practicality is great too. I've got 2 air vents back there and a 12-volt socket. So it's a nice place to be. And then quickly talking about boot space, well, it's pretty good. It's 392 liters of boot space with the rear seats up. Put the rear seats down and you have 1,237 liters of boot space, i.e. plenty. So overall, it's a practical car. Now, if there's one thing the T-Roc absolutely demolishes in, it's the way that it drives. Wow. Man, this thing is quick. The Volkswagen T-Roc is powered by a Golf GTI derived engine, effectively. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, and it pumps out an extremely respectable 140 kilowatt of power and 320 newton meters of torque. All of that power is sent through a 7-speed dual clutch transmission through to all wheels because this has 4Motion permanent all-wheel drive. And that system is just so good. There is loads of grip. It's so much fun. The 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour is 7.2 seconds. This thing is fast and it feels it. Guys, it feels it. This thing is quick. Have I said that enough now? By the way, the T-Roc has launch control, so you can launch all the time. Insane. This car is insane. This crossover is insane. Now, even though this does have the classic 7-speed dual clutch that is in every other Volkswagen Audi Group product ever, well, it's pretty good. There's hesitation at low speeds, but upshifts are pretty quick. It downshifts quickly as well. It's a good transmission. Better yet though is the fact that it just has loads of grip. You always have grip. You feel so planted on the road, and in that sense it kind of feels like a Golf R. You know, the super hatch that Volkswagen makes, it kind of drives like that. And not as quick, but in terms of just the amount of confidence you have in your drive. This truly is as close you'll get to driving a Golf GTI before driving a Golf GTI. Now, of course, like any good off-roader like the T-Roc absolutely is, it's not. But it is capable enough. It can certainly tackle a back road or a gravel road absolutely fine. And as a result, you do get a few different off-road modes. Well, you get off-road individual, and you get snow. Of course, being a baby GTI, you also get standard driving modes too, between eco, comfort, normal, sport, and individual. And by the way, changing between those modes actually changes quite a bit. You see, as part of the style and sound package, you actually get adaptive dampers. And as a result, when you change between different driving modes, you actually also change the suspension. Now, for the purposes of fun, I'm driving around in sport mode. But if I were to change it into normal mode, or even let's put it into comfort mode, it's pretty comfy. The change is actually quite noticeable, although sport mode isn't too sporty and stiff. Comfort mode is super comfortable, just like you would expect. And around town, over bumps, it's perfect. But it's great because when you want a bit of fun, you just put it back into sport mode, and that lets you take corners a bit enthusiastically, but it is so planted for an SUV. For a Golf on stilts, it's pretty good. Speaking of, you also get progressive steering like you would get in a Golf GTI, and as a result, you just feel so connected to the road, and steering is very, very precise. Have no doubt in your mind that this car is effectively a Golf GTI on stilts, and as a result, you just do get best in class driving performance. And honestly, refinement. In terms of fuel economy, I'm getting 8.6 liters per 100 kilometers, but that's actually totally fine, especially considering I have been bombing it this morning. So yeah, it's pretty good. More importantly though, is it worth it? Well, there is only one trim model available for the T-Roc, and that is the 140 TSI Sport. So the cheapest you can get a T-Roc drive away, well, that's 45,664 Australian dollars. As spec'd here with the luxury package and also the sound and style package, i.e. it is fully loaded, well, you can expect to pay 51,339 Australian dollars. Yes, it adds 6 grand grand to the total cost of the car. There is no shying away that that is a lot of money. In fact, for just $1,000 more, you can get a base model Golf GTI. But when you compare it to things like the Nissan Juke, and probably a better comparison is that of the Mazda CX-30, well, for the top model Mazda CX-30 all-wheel drive, it's effectively the same price. And I would 100% go for the T-Roc just for the fact that it drives so well. It's a more engaging drive, it's a more thrilling drive, and it's a more refined drive. And in the inside, yes, it doesn't have as many soft touch materials everywhere, but I think it's still pretty good. Now, if you did enjoy the video, please do go down there and hit the subscribe button. I release an awesome new car review every single week. And while you're down there, why don't you just hit the like button, please? It really helps small content creators like me. Comment down below, what do you think of the Volkswagen T-Roc? Is it your cup of tea? And I'll see you guys next week.